Hey guys, it's Rachel at From Moments to Milestones, and I'm here to put together our latest paper pad card kit featuring the Snowed In collection from Echo Park. We're going to create 7 cards in this with this paper pad, and then if you purchase a kit, you get the remainder of that paper pad. You would also get written instructions with a picture. And I do put a list of the supplies that I use in the back to create the kit. So we will get started with this. This is a 5.5 inch square card. And some of you may have a 6x6 card base. So your first step would be to cut it down to 5.5 by 5.5 if you wish. If you don't want to, you would just have a white border around your card instead, and that's totally fine too. So whatever you prefer. I prefer a smaller card. So I'm going to start by putting down this floral paper onto my white card base. I don't really think there's a right or wrong to this paper, but okay, and then this blue diamond pattern is going to go on top of that. Oh shoot, I ran out of adhesive. Isn't that the way it always goes? Something else here. Now we are going to put on the post box here, and so it does have this little, there's kind of a score mark. You can fold it a little bit if you want. I mind popping open. I did pop mine up on foam, so I'm just gonna put foam on the back of that. Okay, so I have all the foam removed from the back of the post box, and so, or the post office box, or mailbox, whatever you want to call it. I'm not going to completely center. I'm going to shift it slightly to the left, so I have some room for, I've got like this envelope hanging off. Okay, and then next you're going to have these 3 dark blue pieces, and these kind of create shadows. So this, and you could pop them up if you want. I did not. I'm just going to glue them straight down. I'm just going to put wet glue on the back. And that's going to go right onto the lid or the door. Make sure I can still open that. There we go. All right, this one. There are like embossed lines on the die cut, but to help you line it up. And then I'm going to put the sentiment on the front. Okay. All right, so we're good there. So now we are going to, I think you have one last kind of loose piece before we get to the bag of die cuts, and that's going to be this, the envelope piece. So you have this little triangle piece and the rectangle. So we're going to glue the flap to the envelope. So it's just going to line right up at the top, like so, and then I'm just going to have mine hanging off. So I will put a little foam square on the one side, and I'll put some wet glue on the other, and just have it hanging off like so. All right, so now I'm going to set this off to the side, and we are going to open up our bag of you have die cuts and some gems in here, so you'll want to be careful when you open it up. And I'm going to have you separate, so let's put our snowflakes in a pile, and then we did use some wax paper when we did die cutting, so you're going to want to peel that piece off and discard it. I find it easy to take like my tweezers or something sharp and then grab it and it pulls right off. Even your fingernail would work. And if it is not waxy, then it may not still have that on there. And then the greenery, I put in a pile. You have light green and dark green. There's the wax pieces from those. And then I seem to be missing, oh, there it is. So these two pieces here, these are actually, and I don't have it on my sample. I keep forgetting to add it to it, but it's gonna be like the pull handle for your mailbox. So I'm gonna do that one real quick. So you have this little piece that looks like this, and you're gonna wanna lay it in front of you with those little knobs kind of pointing up and to the right. And then we are going to glue this straight piece on like that. So you still wanna see the knobs, but this is gonna be your handle. So I'm gonna glue that like that. And then let me see if my foam will fit. You don't have to pop it up, but I might pop that up. Might be too thick. Actually, I'm not gonna pop it up. I don't wanna cut foam that small, so I'm just gonna glue that down. And then those little knobs go up as well when you're putting it on. So just like that. You have your little pull handle. Okay, now we'll get to the greenery and the flowers. So these are my gems. Put these over here where I won't lose them. All right, so these two flowers we're not going to do anything to. What we're looking for are your 2 3-petal flowers. You have a dark blue and a light blue, and you have these jagged looking pieces. So the larger one is going to go on the bottom of that like so. And then this smaller one, we're going to use the light blue side. And it's going to go on the bottom of that one. All right, so there's those. And then you should have a small round piece and another one that looks the same. We're going to flip this one over so that we can see the dark blue. I'm going to put some glue on the dark blue. And then glue the light blue bud on top. And you're just going to see a little bit of that dark blue. Like so, maybe. Sliding around. So it's going to look like that. And so you're going to need that little bud piece and this flower. And you're going to find this piece here. And you're going to glue the stems to the front of both of those. So then you'll end up with a piece that looks something, I hope I'm like that. Okay? Put a dot there. There. So it's going to look like that. And then you should have one long dark green skinny stem, and that is going to go on the larger 3-petal flower, same way. Okay. And then you should have this tiny 2-leaf dark green and that dark blue flower. Those two are going to go down here on the corner of our envelope. So I did pop that one up. You don't have to if you don't like the added bulk. I'm going to put the flower there, and then I'll tuck in the greenery. I'm going to trim it off a little. I should have. It's getting caught on that foam. All right, so there's that. And so now all these pieces that we put together, we'll do the snowflakes last. We are going to tuck inside our mailbox. So I'm going to start with this flower here, and it's up to you. You can play around with the placement. I'm just going to go ahead and glue. I know I want these 2 leaves. So there's 2 dark green leaves, and those are going to go behind that. And I already know I'm probably going to want to trim those long stems off to make it easy. So I'm going to do that and have those ready to go because I'm going to use some wet glue. Let's see, what else do I have here? Maybe I'll place them out. So you have this long one here. That's going to go like this first. And I did add little pieces of foam behind that to keep those popped up. So I'm just going to start by putting glue on the long stem like so, and then my big flower can go over that. And I'm going to tuck these leaves in. Here. Right there. All right. And then we have this other light green stem, and that is going to come out right in there. I'm going to go ahead and put that one in too. And this long, I may have to trim that because of my foam. That's going to go right in there. And I'm just going to peek and see. I did pop that one up. So something like that. And then I have this other leaf back there. And really it's just whatever looks good to you. Just start tucking until it looks full. And then this other piece is going to come right in here, sticking out. And I am going to put a piece of foam on the back of that one as well. I'll put glue down there. Like so. So that's it for the greenery pieces. And then we were just mimicking this blue floral paper back here. It has flowers with the snowflakes. So I went ahead and tucked some snowflakes in as well. So I have one tucked in back here. And this one is tucked over those. And you're just going to see a little bit of it. And we have this little one. It's down here. We have another one up here. And then here on Post-it and Press and Seal, you have 3 tiny little white ones. And if you're lucky, the Press and Seal will pull off that wax paper. All right, so I'm gonna put those last little, I've got one here. Oops, a little dot of glue there. Got one here and one up here. Perfect. And then the finishing touch will be those little jewels. I did put them in the center of a few of these different snowflakes. So I'm going to put the larger one, that one. I have 2 tiny ones. I'm going to put one here and over here. And that finishes off that card. All right, our next card is Warm Greetings on a Wintry Day. And we are going to start right off. We're going to put down this wood paper, and I did use foam. You don't have to if you don't want to. Maybe you'd rather pop up some of the greenery instead. All right, I have my foam removed, or the backing removed. So you're going to have white on each side, an even amount. So just center that on there, that down. And now we're going to open up our bag of die cuts. Okay. So you're going to have greenery. So I'm just going to set that off to the side. We don't need to do anything to it other than maybe poke out some of these spots that aren't poked out. And then we are going to cut this one in half. So I'm just going to come in here like so, snip. So we have a longer one and a shorter one. And that. So now we're going to put our bird together. All these little pieces we don't need. Okay. I'm going to start with our bird body, and you should have a scrap piece of green on one side, brown on the other. I'm just going to put that behind my bird to cover the holes so that we see brown instead. And I'll just trim off the excess. And then let's see, let's go ahead and start with this. This is part of the, you've got the beak and part of the bird's face on this little Post-it note and Press and Seal. Put them here so I don't lose them on my black paper. I'm going to start with the beak, so I'm just going to put a little dot of glue there, the beak, and put that right on, so. And then this black piece, so you're going to want to make sure it's right side up. You can always kind of tell with a die cut, and you want it to be like a bowl. You don't want it this way. I don't know if you can tell, but this is like the bowl, and right here that little bump is actually where his eye would go, but since we made him black, he doesn't really need the eye. So I'm just going to put up a couple of dots of glue, and it's going to go, see if I can bring it up where you can see what I'm doing. And it kind of fits in, that little angle right there fits into the beak, like so. All right, so then it's gonna look like that. And then you have this brown piece, and that is gonna sit over the top. So I'll just put some glue there. Use my tweezers. And we're just gonna sit that right on the top. Should match right up. Okay, like so. And then you should have a white wing and this little green wing tip. It has the 4 little holes. I'm going to punch those out. And then that goes on the top of the wing. So put some glue on the back of that. And it will just match right up the top of the wing. And then I'm going to put a piece of foam on the back of the wing. And then that is going to go, I mean, you can have it up, you can have it down. I think I have mine quite a bit down, so I'm just going to put it right like that. And then you have his 2 little tail feathers. So you have a green and a black, however you want to do it. You could even flip them over and do brown and black, whatever you want to do. But I'm going to glue one in front of the other and then glue them to the back. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue on this side. Glue the black to it. Well, maybe. Let's try that again. So you gotta let it dry. And then those pieces I'm going to put glue right here. And just set my bird on top. And now you got a little bird with feathers. I actually don't love the placement. I'm going to scoot it back a little bit. There we go. And now we're going to tuck in the greenery and put our little birdie on top. So we're going to start with this large bushy looking branch piece, and that's going to tuck in right in here like so. And I'm just going to glue it straight down. Try not to cover up my greeting. Okay. And then you have this larger, that is going to go right in there. And I didn't pop any of this up. You certainly could if you want to take the time to fuss with it. And then this other green is going to come out right in there. Okay, and you have a larger branch, and I'm going to put that down here so that our little bird has a place to rest. I think actually I have it kind of poking up. Alright. So the little brown twiggy piece. Stick that right in there. And then our bird is going to rest right in here, but I'm going to use these to kind of give him a place to land. So I may I don't think I put enough glue on it. There we go. And then this other piece I'm going to put right in here. And I did pop him up. You don't have to if you don't want to. I'm gonna need, where he's hanging off in there, I'm gonna need a double layer since that this wood piece is popped up. So I'm gonna put, so it looks like that, so that when it sits there, it's flat. You know what I didn't do is pull off that piece. There we go. Now he'll sit flat. All right, there is our sweet little bird. That card is finished. I think it'd be really sweet to add some glitter or some snow on the branches if you chose to do so. But that one is complete. Okay, our next card, Warm Winter Wishes. We have a couple of things we can do with these flowers here, so we'll start with that. You should have 2 dark green flower centers. They're brown on one side in case you can't find them. And then you have this light green kind of bud and a dark green bud leaf. So I'm going to put glue on this. All right, and then you have the 2 light green flowers, and the large center goes in the large flower and the smaller center in the smaller flower. All right, we can set those aside while we build up our cards. So we're going to start with this dark green paper. And that is going to go down to the center of our card base. So just center it in there. And then you have a vellum frame. You have the one with your sentiment. We're going to set that off to the side, and you have this pattern. So I'm going to glue this pattern onto the vellum frame. So there's stitching, and it works best to just put a little bit of glue around the stitching. And then I'm going to put that on there like so. All right, and now we can put this down. I'm going to pop this up. All right, so I have the foam on that, and I'm just going to center that about 1 inch from the top onto that green. And then we are going to put down the circle vellum with the sentiment. And so we're just going to be strategic about our glue. We're just going to put some dots behind where the white embossing is, and that will hide it. Just center that on there. Okay, and now we're going to layer up our flowers. So I have the large flower right in here, and so I'm just going to move it around until I'm happy that it's not cutting off my sentiment. So right in there, I think there's kind of a shorter petal. I'm going to put that there, and so I am going to put a little piece of foam in the center. Let's see. Since that's popped up, and just slightly just right off that flower. There we go. Or right off the circle. Well, it's kind of, actually think I'm going to put it on this petal, these 2 petals. I think that'll be better. There we go. Yep. And then I can put glue there, there, and there. All right. This, you're going to have a sprig on each side, a white sprig, so one's going to go in there, and the other one up here. And then this flower is going to set off. I'm going to put that one on foam as well. kind of tucked in there, maybe more so. And then the little bud is also popped up. I'm just going to have that coming out from behind like so. And then you have this green leaf, which I'm going to tuck in there. Just going to put a piece of foam on the end. You know what? I don't think I actually glued those in place, so probably should do that. And then you have these 3 clear water droplets. This is what they'll look like. And so I have one. I don't like the placement of that leaf. So I have one right here, the largest one. So just a little bit of clear glue and then it'll dry clear. So you can see it's white now, but it'll dry clear. And then I've got 2 more. That card is finished. Okay, our next card is I Heart Snow Days. And let's see. We'll start here by putting this sweater paper down. And it's up, there's no right or wrong. Either way you look at it, one of the hearts is going to be upside down. So it's up to you which one. So there's that. And then you have a couple of tags. And so they're gonna, you have one that has 2 holes. We're gonna cover that one up. So something like this. But we're gonna use this, we're not gonna glue them both down right now. We're gonna use it as a placement. So I'm pretty happy with that right there. So I am going to go ahead and glue that one down. So we're looking to glue this one down. And he's going to get glued flat down. And then we're going to put the snowbank on, and then we'll put the other one on top because you can see it kind of goes behind that tag. So we're just going to freehand cut a snowbank. Right. And then I'm going to trim that off. I might as well just do that right now. There we go. Make sure that is glued. There we go. All right. Now we're going to put our snowbank on. And I'm good with that. Now, like if you think it's too large, I might pull it down just a little bit and then snip off that edge. I'm gonna get my little snowman out and see. I don't want my snowman up so high that it's like covering up the hole in my tag. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna move that down. So I think what I'm gonna do is just put a line of adhesive there and kind of my snowman where I want him, and then tuck that behind. So, and then I'm just going to trim off that. All right. And now I'm going to pop this tag up and set it right there. All right, so I got the backing removed, and I'm just going to, have it cockeyed a little bit, so I may have to do some trimming. Just want to make sure, there we go, that I don't want anything showing there. And I will trim that off. Okay. There's that. And now we have our little sending you a frosty hello. So I'm going to need foam on this side and this side of that tag to keep it even. And if you choose to, you can cut banner ends. This time I'm just going to cut a slit like so. Something different. Get some foam. I think I can fit two. I'll do the same over here. And I do have it lined up all the way to the edge of this card. I think I only have room for one. I'm going to pull that one off. Alright, so there's that. And now we're gonna should have some die cuts in here to build your snowman with. So this die cut does come with a little round piece that's made to go right behind its face, but today we're just going to use a rectangle. It's easier than running something through the die cut machine. So, and I want the dark blue showing. So there's that, and then I'll finish building them and then we'll put them on the card. So we need to put his scarf on, and this little piece is going to get tucked underneath. So let's put this on, and then while it's still wet, we'll tuck the other piece on. There we go. There's your little scarf. And then he's got a little heart over here. And you could choose to do the blue if you wanted. I'm going to put the dark blue. And his nose. I'm going to have his nose going the other way this time. Alright, so there's my sweet little snowman, and we're just going to pop him up right there. So right in there he goes. Okay, and then we're going to finish it off. You should have some crochet twine, more than enough. You got 2 long strands here. So you're going to tie a bow with 2 strands together and put it here. Now you have enough. If you wanted to put it on both tags, you could. So I'm going to just take one of these strands, I think. So I think there's more than enough. And I'm just going to tie a bow, like so. Trim the tails, and then I'm just going to put some wet glue right here. You could actually tie it around if you wanted, but it's so thin, I'm just going to tie that there like so. That card is finished. All right, our next card just wanted to say thank you. And I'm realizing I did not cut the twine for my kit here. Good job, Rachel. Okay. Well, when I get to that part, I'll grab the twine. So we'll start with this. You're going to put down the plaid paper. And that's just going to go right onto your card base. Okay. Then you have this blue strip and 2 dark blue strips. And so we're going to make it appear as though it's completely matted. So I'm going to put a strip of glue on the back, and then as much as I want to show, I've got about 1/8 of an inch or so showing, and I'm going to do that on both ends. All right, so now it looks like it's matted, and we're not going to put that down yet because we need our twine. So let me grab that. Okay, I know why there's no twine in here. Remember, I couldn't find my ball of crochet thread, but I did find it. I left it at home, and I still don't have it here. So I'm going to use this thread here. It's very similar. And so what you should have is 3 strands, even strands. Actually, you have 4 total. So you should have 3 that are about the same size, and you should have 1 that's a little bit longer. So the one that you have that's a little bit longer, go ahead and set that one aside. We don't need that yet. We're going to use it to tie our bow. But these 3, we are going to wrap around. So I don't know if I don't have any tape, but I'm going to use some score tape. So I'm going to take a strip of tape, and I'm just going to put it right here. I may put another one on top. But what I'm going to do is just in the center. This is the front, but you can kind of eyeball it that way if you want. So I want it to kind of go right under the thank you. There we go. You can also use Scotch tape here, but you're going to put 3 right close together. I think I'll put another piece over the top to make sure it doesn't go anywhere. Okay. And then we're going to, so your twine should be thinner, I hope. This feels like dental floss, kind of. So you're going to get the way you want it, and then wrap it around and secure it on the other side. Scotch tape really is the easiest thing to use. There we go. So it's going to look like that. And then once you have that on, then you can glue this to your card. I'm going to use wet glue. That will help ensure that those strands don't come undone. Whoops, I don't want that slippery stuff on there. I had to take off the backing, and now I have glue all over it. Go. Handy tweezers. Okay. Put this on. It's about 1/2 inch from the top, and you can use your plaid paper to get it on straight. All right, and now we have our large snowflake. So this is up to you. I do have thin strips of foam, and so I pop mine up, but it is kind of tedious. So right here where it's nice and thick, I'm just going to cut strips. All right, I've got the tedious work of the foam on the back of my snowflake. You can totally skip that step if you wish. And I'm going to put my snowflake over here on the right side of the card. And then with that long piece that you should have, I'm going to tie another bow. And that I'm going to put in that little hole. Trim the tails. Put some glue in there. A glue dot would also work. I'm just going to hold that for a second. Actually, have something to hold it down while I finish. So you should have a dark blue. I'm just going to take the wax paper off. A dark blue snowflake. 3 smaller snowflakes, which are not on my original sample. I forgot to add them. It's kind of an afterthought. So if you want to omit them, and you can, you don't need to add them. Or you can add them like I do here in just a moment. So then you also have 3 gems. Hello. The biggest one is going to go in the center of this dark snowflake, and the other 2 are over here by the sentiment. So there, I think that's on there now. And so I'm going to put more glue on top because I put that right on top of that bow. Gives it a little bit of dimension as well. And then this gem will go in the center of that. All right, so it's snowflake, bow, snowflake, gem. All right, and then if you wish to add these extra snowflakes, I'm trying to remember what my thought process was here. I had one. Maybe like that, or it might be nice up here. I think that's what I'll do. All right, I'm always trying to put that lid on my glue. All right, that card is complete. Our next card is Sending the Warmest of Winter Wishes. Okay, I think I'm missing twine, but I do have extra twine over here, so we'll be good there. All right, we're gonna start by putting down that green, gosh, I got twine everywhere. The green paper with a sentiment embossed. Put that right down on the white card base. And then you have this brown sweater embossed paper. I did pop this up. I think today I'm going to glue it straight down and just pop up the embellishments. Give that a try. Either way, if you choose to use foam, I'm just not going to for time's sake. I'm going to put that down. So I completed this card, and I think it recorded, but there was no sound. So I'm just going to briefly, I put the top on, and really it was simple. I had the 2 mittens, and you have the cuffs, so you're going to put those on. Then I flipped them over. I laid this little piece of string on the back, put a pop dot over it. Did the same on that one, and then so it looks like they're connected, or you can omit the string altogether. And then I stuck them down, and then the 3 snowflakes, and that one's easy. So you can see the difference. This one's popped up, this one is not. We have one final card here to be the happy birthday cover plate die. I just lost one of my, one of my gems, or maybe both of my gems. This one's going to be simple. We're going to put down the blue snowflake paper, and you'll have a little, I left it a little bit smaller so that it wouldn't peek out. And then this happy birthday, I did not pop it up. I'm going to use wet glue on that. And it goes right down. Okay, and that's going to go right over top. So, and then you have the Let's Celebrate, and it's a little bit bigger, so it was easier for me to stamp, so I'm just going to trim it down with my scissors, and then I'm going to put some foam on the back of it. And that is going to go right over, let's see so you can see, it goes right over, right the R, the T, and the H, although you want it to be straight, which mine is not, so I'm going to try that again. There we go. And then we're going to scatter the snowflakes. So I have these two up on foam, so I'm going to cut the foam square down. Actually, I'm going to have to cut it into quarters. Or you can not pop them up, it's up to you. There's one that's going to go right there. This one. It's going to go down here on the D. And then the rest of them just get sprinkled. So I need my jewel picker, which I cannot find. Oh, there it is. Okay. So we're going to put, got one here and there. So a large one and a small one. I got another large one right here. And we have a small one, large. There we go. Oops, I just put that one on upside down. There we go, and then we're going to finish with those jewels, which I think I just dropped one on the floor, so I have one here, here, and there. Oh, he's trying to put that lid on my glue still. All right, one there, one here. Let's see if I can find that other one. It should have a tiny small one that's gonna go right there. I'll have to find mine. I think it's on the floor and it may take a bit to find it. So that completes that card and it completes our class. So these are the cards that we made. I hope you enjoyed this video or this class if you took it. If you're interested in a kit, you can find us on the web, www.frommomentstomilstones.com, and you can search this one up. This one is called the Snowed In by Echo Park paper pad kit. Thanks so much for watching.